So, demonstrating your expertise. Let's look at a few examples of people who demonstrated their expertise in the public domain. Gary Vaynerchuk. It's amazing. This is a guy, a 31-year-old guy, right? And the guy has ADHD. The guy is completely crazy. But he's very smart, and he understands wine. He grew up with it, and his parents started a wine store in Manhattan, and he inherited that wine store. The wine store was called Wine Library. And when he inherited the store, it was doing well. I mean, it wasn't knocking it out of the park, but it was doing fine. But he inherited it, and he started a video blog called Wine Library TV. And he started putting his expertise in the public domain. And the guy's nuts. So he records these videos. They're fun to watch, right? He's got tons of personality, and he literally compares the wine to like leather shoes and dirt and all sorts of things to get people to understand the different flavors of different wines. But he really knows his stuff, and he put it online. He's got tons of videos. The thing took off. It's not the only thing he did, but it's the biggest single component of what he did. And as a result, he exploded his business from 4 million to over 60 million in 18 months. And 2/3 of the orders are online orders today. His parents never took a single online order. Not a single online order. So if 2/3 of 60 million is 40 million bucks, that's 40 million bucks of orders that didn't exist. Right? It didn't increase from anything. It increased from 0 to 40 million. Right? And then he increased the store sales from 4 to 20. That's amazing, the accomplishment. Let's look at a couple of others. YouTube, of course, people think that YouTube is full of videos of crickets fighting, or panda bears sneezing, or kids falling off of their bikes. It turns out that the single biggest component of new information being posted to YouTube is educational content, which is exactly what we're talking about, demonstrating your expertise in the public domain. So these are some screen captures. WordPress tutorials. I just did a search for WordPress tutorials. WordPress is an open source platform where you can build a blog. It doesn't cost any money. It's open source. If you want to learn how to do that, you can go to YouTube and watch videos to learn how to do it. Guys, if you want to learn how to play guitar, you can learn that on YouTube. If you want to learn to speak Spanish, you can learn that on YouTube. And if you want to learn how to use WordPress, you can do that on YouTube. And here's, again, I did a couple of other searches. One for business marketing. 58,000 videos about business marketing. And this first one, small business marketing coach. This guy's marketing. Right? This guy is demonstrating his expertise in the public domain. Stock market investing. Tips for the complete beginner. This guy's getting business by posting videos on YouTube. What can you demonstrate in your business? What do you do every day that your customers would love to learn? I'm sure everyone in here has examples of things you could do yourselves. What could you post up there? When I first launched my book, I summarized the book into 300 marketing tips, and I posted those tips as tweets on Twitter. And you can read some of them here. Conversations on Markets. We just talked about this. More tips at, and there's a link to my website. So I'm introducing myself on Twitter. I'm trying to demonstrate my expertise there first. And if they don't care, that's okay. But if they do, they can click through and land on my website where they can learn more about me. Right? Driving traffic to your website is difficult, and it can be expensive. Meanwhile, I can demonstrate my expertise on Twitter for free. And there's 85 million people there. That one way or another, I can find ways to interact with. And if they care, they can click through and end up on my website. Adobe is a company that manufactures software, that produces software to help us in graphic design, producing websites, and so on. And they had an application on Facebook where they had these crazy photographs, unbelievable photographs, where they almost don't seem real, and that was the point. And people could pick whether or not they thought the photos were real or fake. On this application on Facebook. And then in the cases where the photo was fake, it immediately took you to a screen that showed you how that fake photo was manufactured or put together using their product Photoshop. Right? Again, what are they doing? They're demonstrating the functionality of their product. Right? They're showing how their product can be used in the public domain. And it was highly successful because it was fun. It engaged the audience. So demonstrating your expertise works because it leads to awareness. And awareness leads to interest, interest leads to demand, but it starts with awareness. People can't want your product until they know what your product does. Or they can't want your service until they know what your service can do for them. And if you demonstrate on the public web, right? That's what builds the awareness. So they know what you're capable of. They know what you do. And that leads to interest leads to demand.